This is a national emergency. Because why are we not talking about it? For 2 years, I have had to fight with Cape Town. So I'm about to sound off because I have every right. But so Cape Town was a scam. Hello gorgeous, if you've never seen me before, my name is Essie and you're watching Essie in real life. And if you have seen me before, welcome back. I am in over my head right now when it comes to Cape Town. So I'm about to sound off. I'm literally just going to speak about my experience in Cape Town because I feel like I was scammed. Cape Town scammed me. Because everyone sold Cape Town, like people that would document their lives or their time or their experience in Cape Town would kind of paint it as this like utopia and like this just amazing place where everything's just perfect and everything just goes to plan. And I'm thinking, I was there sitting in Johannesburg like this looks nice. This looks nice. There's no cockroaches or nothing. Girl, only to find that when I freaking moved here and I had to be here every single day and I was here on a daily basis and I was no longer a tourist, reality hit me. These are the things about Cape Town that gave me the ick, that make me not want to be here anymore. So before I start shooting shots, I will just preface this by saying that I am very grateful for the experience that I've had in Cape Town. I won't say the hospitality has been amazing. However, it is still South Africa, and I think South African culture is just different to any other place in the world. It's very unique. So it's been an experience, but I will not lie to you and tell you that Cape Town is perfect, okay? It's not the utopia that you might see people post online, people showing their beaches and stuff. Like, it's not like that. Once you get here and like you get over the high of being in Cape Town and you get over the honeymoon phase, it gets real. Please do not click out this video if you get mad. Just write a comment, just vent in the comments, because yeah, no, we need to talk about it. So when I moved to Cape Town, when I relocated, it was a decision based on the fact that I felt suffocated in Joburg. I felt like I'd been there for too long. Joburg is such a go city. So I just wanted the contrast of Cape Town being this very much more relaxed coastal city type of thing, right? Oh, honey. oh, I know Sham's giving triple M. I was scammed. When I moved to Cape Town, the first 2-3 months were like amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I can finally breathe. But a lot of negatives kept popping up and I was like, So the first ick that I have about Cape Town is this city is full, chock-a-block full of tourists, okay? It is filled with tourists. You cannot go anywhere and not be crowded by tourists. It is a tourist city. And listen, I'm not against tourism. Tourism is amazing for the country, for the economy. To live every single day, no one can tell me that they're enjoying that. I think it goes hand in hand with the whole gentrification thing. The original culture of Cape Town is not what it used to be, okay? I think over time, Cape Town became a more touristy destination and like it just became an ideal destination for tourists, and you know, obviously it's cheap for them, so everyone came to flock here. You know, I've been seeing on social media people basically talking about the fact that there are all these digital nomads that are now coming to Cape Town. The advantage that people from abroad when they move here have is that it's cheap for them to live here. So the whole tourist thing goes hand in hand with gentrification, because now the areas that used to be affordable and used to be mainly, you know, populated with locals, we are sharing this space with a lot of tourists. And now it's not just sharing, we are competing against tourists in the city, right? So it's like locals against like foreigners, locals against tourists type of thing, where now we're sharing spaces, entertainment is not the same. Okay, I think the city is overpopulated, to be honest. Like, I think it just does get overwhelming. One example I will give you is the V&A waterfront. Like, dude, like, especially, I don't think it's a month-end thing. I think it's all the time, like during weekends and like high peak tourist season. oh my gosh, it gets so packed. You can barely move, you can barely drive. It's so full, and Vienna is already small. It's like a small mall, and it's just so full, and it's just tourists everywhere you turn, everywhere you go. So much so that Cape Town is kind of like, it's kind of been watered down now. It's kind of been like there's just, the culture is a little bit like watered down now, because most of the time you're bumping into tourists a lot of the time, and I feel like we can't even really enjoy the spots that we normally go to, because it's like always tourists that are filling up the places, and it just kind of does feel like a competition. And everything's designed for tourists now. You know, you can't really enjoy activities the same way. Do you understand what I mean? It's impossible to find a rental for a decent price, especially like the closer you are to town, the more your rent is gonna be. And the things, you need to be close to town, because that's the only place where things are happening. Like, that's the only place with a little bit of life. Because if you go further out into, you know, the northern suburbs, or Bloberg and stuff, Milnerton, there's not a lot happening there. Especially if you're like a social person, you're not really gonna have a great time. Like, where the life is, where the vibe is, where the hype is closer to the CBD. Once you go out there, there's nothing much. So you're just gonna, if you move to the northern suburbs, yes, you can get a rental for cheaper. It's not cheap though. But yes, you can get a rental for cheaper, but you're just gonna be in the outskirts of town, and you're just gonna have to accept it and live that quiet life, right? So there's no, the balance isn't really there. Whereas in Joburg, I don't know, I just feel like there's just so many options, and each area offers a different vibe, you know. My next point ties back into this first point, and it's that to kind of leave like this area, this vibe, like central, to leave this vibe and to find a different vibe. It's not like going from Sandton to Rosebank. You have to go 30-45 minutes out. Like, you have to take almost an hour drive to Franschhoek or Stellenbosch. Listen, I don't know how this Cape Town thing works, but to go and experience something different, you have to go miles and miles away. Like, once you're done with the wine, once you're done with the mountains, once you're done with the ocean, like, what's there left to do? To live in Cape Town comfortably, you really have to be prepared financially. I think you have to have money. You have to have a budget, not only for the rent and like the cost of living and just lifestyle, but to also comfortably have like the good entertainment that you see being posted online, like high quality experiences. You have to have a lot of money. If you're someone like me, who, I'm not like a very outdoor person, right? I'm not a sportsy outdoor person, never been. All the stuff that Cape Town offers, which is hiking, surfing, being at the beach, swimming, all that type of stuff, is like, it needs you to have a group, like a social group, because obviously, I mean, as a young woman by myself, I'm not going to go hiking alone. So it needs you to also like socialize on that part. Like, that's where you can find your people, is socializing within like the outdoor communities. Whereas like, yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to do. I know zoos are unethical, but like, I'm just saying, there's no zoo in Cape Town. Like, there's no theme park with rides. There's one big casino that I know of. There's a few like markets, farmers markets. What else? There's not a lot that I can list to do. And once you've done all of those things like 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, it kind of gets boring, it gets redundant. You can't keep going to every single wine farm or keep doing the same experience over and over again. That's why I'm saying it's designed for tourists, okay? It's not designed for everyday living. And even those things are not the most affordable. It's not affordable to go to Stellenbosch every weekend to go have fun. So Cape Town kind of forces you to either like just accept that you need to stay at home, there's nothing to do, or you have to just come out of your comfort zone and like find new hobbies. You have to go biking, buy a bicycle. It's perfect for people who love the outdoors. But for someone like me, I'm a city girl. I'm a city girl through and through. I'm a city girl down. And like, I'm not saying I'm a groovist. I'm not talking about groove. I love staying indoors. I love my own space. I love my own company. However, when I am tired of being by myself, it is refreshing to be able to choose which area I want to go to groove or to just chill and hang out at, and know that there's friendly people around and I can make a new friend at any moment. In Cape Town, the people are not friendly, and that's point number 3. People are not friendly in Cape Town. Still, I've been here for 2 years. Hey, let me clock this tea real quick. The friendliest people that I've met have been people who are also from Joburg, have been people who are not from Cape Town. I'm posing a question to Cape Townians, right? If you are born and raised in Cape Town, do you agree that people from Cape Town have this superiority complex, or they have this, because, okay, there's something I want to say and I'm scared to say it. The colored culture is amazing, right? But I just have to say, and I've had colored friends, so please, I'm just gonna say this. Cape coloreds are mean. The only nice Cape coloreds will probably be sometimes it's like the older Uwams or the older Tannies, like, you know, like those ones that are at peace. Ha! The younger ones, please. They're like so mean. Like everyone in Cape Town is mean, but like Cape coloreds take the cake. Not only are they rude, like they're just kind of, it gives a little bit of like a racist superiority vibe that I've just been scared to say it, and I don't know if anyone agrees, but to be honest, I do feel a little bit of racism that comes from colored people. And I say this with all due respect, I'm not talking about everyone, but I'm just saying that's been my experience. Like the racism that I've experienced in Cape Town has come from Cape coloreds. And like, that's just the truth. As to what has happened, I don't think I'm gonna go into detail because it's irrelevant, but like that's just been my experience, okay? So that's the point. Cape Town people are not friendly still. I don't think they're very open-minded to outsiders. They don't really welcome outsiders. If you're not from Cape Town and you can't socialize. In Cape Town, I really feel like you have to choose carefully the spaces that you choose to be in, because you will get judged for being there. It's kind of like you have to think, why am I here, and like what am I here to do, type of thing. So yeah. It's funny because even here in Cape Town, the worst experiences that I've had were with Cape Townians, and the best have been with outsiders, people who are not from Cape Town, people who are from Joburg, people from Kenya. I've met people from everywhere, okay? The states, everywhere, people from everywhere. And somehow, like, people here, the locals, are not open to other people. They don't even want to speak other languages. Just be mindful of that. If you're not someone who's fluent in Afrikaans, English, or Xhosa, then you might want to learn before you get to Cape Town, if Cape Town is your dream destination. My fourth ick about Cape Town is that there's not a lot of restaurant options. Yes, there's a lot of restaurants in like Sea Point, Camps Bay, Waterfront. Yeah, there's some restaurants, but you won't find they're not like franchises, so you won't find different branches. There's only 2 Tashes in Cape Town that I know of. I know that's not Cape Town's fault, but if you enjoy a certain restaurant, you are going to have to drive as far as you must to get to that one branch. I feel like in Joburg, there's always a new place popping up. There's always a new spot that opens. Like there's just a lot of progression and growth and development. And I'm not saying Cape Town is not developing, but I haven't seen a lot of new restaurants. And then my 5th point, I think in Cape Town, we pay a premium to live average, okay? We are living average lives. The lifestyle is very average. The rent in the CBD and around the CBD is insanely expensive in Cape Town. And that goes to my first point, is because there's tourists that are willing to pay 20K. To them, it's nothing, but to a local, you have to have a lot of money to be able to live comfortably. If you are even 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, even 10 minutes away from CBD, you are still paying a lot to just experience the luxury of being 7 minutes away from the CBD. It's a luxury in itself. And we're paying a premium to live in the most average area, most average apartment. Cape Town is very classist. The service here is pretty bad. They can tell when you're not a tourist. They can tell when you're a local. And they automatically, like there's a level of service that they are prepared to offer locals. that they will not offer tourists. They reserve their good service and their best quality for for tourists. 9 times out of 10, when I get to a restaurant, I will wait. I'm okay with waiting, but waiting 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get acknowledgement, people will pass me, the waiters will pass and not even look at me. They seat me and I will wait at a table easily 20 minutes, easily, with no one even noticing me. And I don't know if this is a deliberate thing that happens to people of color or to black people or to women or to locals. I don't know, but it's becoming a thing, and I've noticed this trend. It's a pattern, and I don't think it's just me. I've seen a lot of people complain about this, and like the service is just not good. They value tourists over locals. They kind of don't need our rands, you know, the dollar is obviously stronger. My 7th ick about Cape Town is the traffic, okay? I don't know if anyone has noticed, but there's like a traffic crisis here. There's traffic on the road 24/7. Like there's always traffic at any given time. Like it's not even peak hour. Like in Joburg, I always knew of a peak hour, which is around like starts at 4, ends at 6. In Cape Town, the traffic is wire. Like you can find traffic at 11 and 12 and like 1, the most random times, like 2 p.m. There's traffic on the freeway. There's just something about the traffic flow that isn't right. There's a bit of a traffic crisis, and I don't know if it's the way the roads are designed. The roads in Cape Town are so small, very congested. Like I just feel like it's just overcrowded, and it goes back to my first point again. There's too many of us in Cape Town and we're all competing, and you can't really, I don't feel comfortable anymore. I don't feel like I'm wanted here. I don't feel like I can move around freely. And parking also is a non-existent thing. After searching for 10 million years, you finally find an apartment and they tell you, oh no, there's no parking, you're gonna have to park on the street. Or they will tell you, oh, parking is 1,000 rand extra. You're gonna have to rent a parking bay. I've seen someone put a parking bay on Property 24 for rent, monthly rent, like as in sign a contract for a parking bay. I'm not fighting, guys. We guys, don't come for me. Like there's just too many of us. It is too congested. There's not enough space. Cape Town feels cramped. It's too small. We need to stop obsessing about Cape Town and maybe explore the Western Cape as a whole. You know what Cape Town gives me? You know what Cape Town reminds me of? It's like a small town, but in a big city. Nothing in Cape Town is free. You can't even park on the street. Like I'm talking about like the street that's owned by the government. Like just off the road, there's a lot of businesses. So when you need to go to a small shop or a coffee shop or a salon, you have to park on the street. And when you park on the street, a parking marshal will literally pop out of nowhere, like literally, and demand payment. And they're gonna tell you, they're gonna ask you, how long are you staying? And currently it's 4.80 every 15 minutes. So for an hour, it's about 20 rand. And I'm talking, this is like literally the road. Anyone can bump your car, anyone can steal your car. You're not paying for safety, you're just paying the municipality. Nothing in Cape Town is free. It's an expensive city to live in, okay? There's a lack of events. I don't find that there's a lot of events, especially for like people of my color. I don't know if there's just not a lot of organizers here, or maybe I don't know of the events, but seemingly a lot of things just happen in Joburg, and like I find myself always traveling back and forth like to Joburg to experience certain events. DSTV Delicious, some jazz festivals. I know that there was the Cape Town Jazz Fest. That's like the most popular Cape Town event, and maybe Rocking the Daisies. But outside of that, there's not a lot of like regular events. On that point, there's not a lot of black businesses. I don't know, like I know that they might be out of like the CBD, out of town, you know, in Gooks, Kailicha, like sharp, there's businesses there. Now it kind of is unsettling to know that for me to go and experience black culture and experience and go and support black businesses, I have to go all the way there, where number one, it's also not safe. I don't feel the presence of my people. There's not a lot of black businesses. There's not a lot of black restaurants. I might want to go and sit at a black-owned restaurant or like lounge or whatever and like spend my money there, but I don't have the option to, because in Cape Town a lot of the places are like very much palm colored like places. I maybe don't know. Please write in the comments and tell me if I'm missing anything, if maybe there's just places that I haven't been exposed to. So I'm just warning people before they come here and think that Cape Town is some utopia. It's not. I think homelessness is a huge problem in Cape Town. There are like makeshift tents all around town. It's not clean. Like, I'm not understanding why we are like blind to this, because a lot of people that like advocate for Cape Town will always say that Cape Town is the best because it's so clean and like it's well taken care of. Yes, that it is, but like that's because of the natural beauty, and like no one owns that. No one owns the mountain. No one owns the ocean. Like, you know, Castle of Good Hope? Like, it's literally like just filled with homeless tents. It looks like Skid Row. And this is why I'm saying that party is doing good for some people, but not for everyone. And this is a problem. This is a huge issue that needs to be dealt with all over South Africa. Not just Cape Town, not just Joburg, but all over South Africa. Homelessness is a crisis. It's hard to ignore. And it's sad to see people living that way, especially knowing the weather conditions in Cape Town. So yeah, Cape Town is not perfect. It's not a utopia. In all honesty, I think that my experience here has been a difficult lesson. I have enjoyed some aspects of Cape Town, but there are parts of me that also feel like, wow, I think this was literally God just telling me to appreciate what I had before. When I tell you I miss home, if you're a Joburger, cheers. Joburgers are good people. It's not nice that we have literally put Cape Town on this pedestal where we only tell tourists and people who are looking to come to SA to go to Cape Town, because Cape Town has its perks, but I think in terms of experiencing the real South Africa, you have to go to Pretoria, you have to go to Durban. Oh, Durban, like we really sleep on Durban, guys. KZN is beautiful. It's just as beautiful as Cape Town. We have really slept on other provinces, other cities. You can even go to Limpopo. They have their own culture, you know. Like, there's a lot of places that I myself haven't been. I've seen what Cape Town is, and I don't think it's designed for me, people like me anymore. And I don't think I'm welcome here. And I don't think that it's the only place for me to go. My 10th ick about Cape Town is the driving. Like, who taught you? Who raised you? Like, why do y'all drive like you have nowhere to be? Even if you're not in a rush, like, you know, you're not on African time, you left your house early, why are you still driving at like 20? Because at the end of the day, the goal is to get to your destination. Why are you driving at 20? It feels a little bit inconsiderate, because it's like there's people behind you that also have to go somewhere. You understand? And Cape Townians don't understand the concept of keep left, pass right. Like, they will drive at their own speed in every lane. Yeah, but I said what I said. The driving in Cape Town is awful. You are competing with the taxi drivers that are very hectic. And I'm from Joburg, baby. There is Fast and the Furious in Cape Town. My 11th ick about Cape Town is that it's a city where you can feel the segregation heavily. And I know the history is very deep, you know, and I don't want to get into that. I do still see people separating themselves, and I think it's a subconscious thing. Black people keep to their side, white people keep to their side, colored people stay to themselves. And anytime you want to bleed or integrate into any of the other areas, you can feel eyes staring at you. You can feel that you do not belong. You feel it. In Cape Town, you have to assimilate. You have to kind of mimic the people there, or else you're gonna have a very uncomfortable experience. It is not integrated. It is not well, like, what's the word? I feel like my vocab is not on point today. For heaven's sake, Joburg is the most integrated place. And I keep saying this, I'm from Joburg. I'm so used to being around people of all cultures, of all races. Hey, Sana, why are there so many Coca-Cola spaza shops in Cape Town? Like, it doesn't matter what area you go to, there are these Coca-Cola branded shops, and it's like tiny convenience stores. But in South Africa, we call them spaza shops, right? Why are there so many spaza shops? About my friend, like, there's so many. On one street, you could literally find one, and then another one, like literally not even a block away, and then another one, like one after the other. Like, it doesn't look good aesthetically. Why are there so many? Why not have a shopping center? Like, I'm just not used to it. And I'm not being classist, guys. I'm not. But I'm just saying, why are there so many? So to my Cape Town people, and to my Joburg people, and to my people from all over the world, all over the country, like, love you guys down. I have no hate. I have nothing against anybody. And if you've made it to this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. Please do sound off in the comments, like, vent if you need to vent. Tell me about Joburg. Like, spill the tea. Clock it. So beautiful. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and like the video if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, also like it, because you have nothing to lose. It's free. Thanks so much for watching my video. I will see you in the next one.